we are going to start off a little unusually today. We keep it Sal right in there since this is what we're doing today. Yep. And we're actually trying something new. Not sure how it's going to work, so hopefully it works out. We're going to see. We're actually streaming directly onto Instagram this time, which is not something we've done before. We're trying it so that everybody can see all of us. So don't know if it's going to work. Don't know if it's going to break everything. I guess we'll see shortly. I keep clicking back over to see if it works. It looks like it is, but
I think it works.
Don't know if we're going to get any chats or anything. Mr. Wiener, there he is.
Wiener,
my man. Always a great time with that man right there. Cole, how's it going? Yeah, I love it.
Mr. Payne, how you doing?
This, obviously, we do. Fitzy, there he is. Always presenting TCA with a smile. When you walk up, if you can't smile with Fitz there, you should just go home.
Hale's checking in. Dylan, what's up, Dylan?
Oh my goodness, we had a nice conversation. Comcan, he's like, if I ever got to put the camera down and pick up the gun, there's trouble. So
yeah,
Mr. Walker, how you doing, baby?
What's up, Battle Boo?
Wendell, what's up, Ron?
Oh, love it. Snick.
The Snick, yes.
Okay. Snick.
Okay.
My right hand and all my toes. So when he kicks somebody in the ass, it's an extension of all of our feet. It's great.
Ed, how you doing, buddy? So
White Horse Milsim checking in. That's awesome.
There we go. Thank
Gold
you guys
leader checking in.
Chiming in. I'm curious to see. Oh, geez. Yes, I see that it's working, Mini Dom. I jumped back over to look at the Instagram to see that it was coming up, and it is actually working. I will share a little business info. I yelled at Mini Dom just as you would yell at me there, Toucan, because he came in 14 minutes before the stream was supposed to start and went, "Hey, we should set you up for Instagram." And I was like, "What?"
The last minute.
So yeah,
that sounds about right.
You know what they say about waiting till the last minute? It only takes a minute.
It only takes a minute. Yeah, we're good.
How bad can it be? It's a singular minute.
Thanos destroyed half the world in one snap, and that was only 1 second. So we should be good.
Wow,
maybe
dad
he
of the
was
year.
Right. I have a T-shirt somewhere that says, "What if Thanos was right?"
There's no what if there. He absolutely was.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm not one of the people who should be snapped away. I'm just saying definitely he's definitely not. Was definitely wrong.
A release into the void. I don't know. All right, enough about the darkness. Okay. What's up, Fox? Oh, jeez.
There, Ken Archer. What's up, buddy? I got his gun with me now. We're taking care of that. So
I still can't get over dad of the year, Christopher Kevin Walker.
I know he is at the game. He is at watching
the game. And he's doing it. So yeah,
dude, multitasking, dude. That's awesome.
Talented, handsome, has it all.
Yeah. So
you're being told to turn your camera widescreen, Toucan.
Yes, Toucan. You were screwing up the shui.
Okay. Well, people, there's no comments I'm going to read now because I'm on my phone.
There we go.
So
right.
look what everybody else caused.
I'll take.
So more importantly, the comments really are going to be about you, Toucan.
Well, then it looks like I'm doing myself a favor.
Augie, what's up, dude?
There's my Banana's here. There he is. What's up, Banana? Do you know this behind that, by the way, Sal? There's an actual story. The whole banana thing.
Really?
Oh, we were at Syndicate, right, up in New York, one of Players Wanted game. And we're down in the basement of one of the buildings. And, Augie's from New York. So he was Like, is it only going to banana okay? Like, just a word. Like, I grew up hearing people talk like that, being from New England also. And what's up, Steve? And so Toucan came to me one time and he goes, what is he talking about? Yeah. And I just started laughing. I'm like, oh, okay, so he's not aware of it. So while we're downstairs, I go, do me a favor, son. Go over to Toucan. He's in the back. Go see him and be like, hey, Banana, what's going on? He's like, what are you talking about? So he just walks over and he goes, Banana, what are you doing? And Toucan just falls out, and it has become a thing. I get a Banana T-shirt. We got a Banana mags. It's just become this big thing over the past 2 years. He's just Banana now. That's just what happened.
That explains so much. Now I know the rest of the story. All right.
So we are announcing the giveaway during this stream.
Yes.
Yes, during this stream. Not at the beginning of the stream, though. Guaranteed. Not at the beginning of the stream. We're announcing it during this stream, though.
We will announce it closer to the end.
Yes, it'll probably be much closer to the end. I'm not toothless. I got all of mine.
Yes.
Sal got to see me not too distantly after it happened. Boy, you had a couple looks.
There were three TCA staff that know your pain. Myself, Snick, and Godfather.
Oh, you had it happen?
Oh yeah. Check this out. Me and Godfather had our teeth shot out as we were admitting a game.
Which is nuts.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Bone Crusher. I think Bone Crusher 2 or 3 for me, and it was like a broken dagger for Gabe, Godfather. So.
Magical Gamer, how's it going?
And then years ago, I had a tooth shot out just playing. And it's Snick just being on the field everywhere he is. Both, I think Snick's had the unfortunate, he's like me, he's a two-timer. Had teeth shot out playing and had teeth shot out reffing. So there's two of us that are double whammies, man.
So what you're saying is there's goals to reach.
No.
Oh my God. All right. I got to put this one up there. Sorry. There it is. Hey, Top, how are you, buddy? Sorry, man. I had to throw it up there.
Toucan, be glad that we don't load airsoft guns like we used to load muskets back in the day, where you had to bite the bullet to pour the powder. That would have sucked.
Oh man! Actually, let me see if I can make this.
Yeah, Toucan is he's the new he's our new safety officer now. As a result of that.
Yeah. But yeah, man, you had the unfortunate to be the guy of the event. There's one every event. So
I'll say this. I went into that event with a still healing sprained ankle. I basically forgot about it after that. So not too shabby, I'm not going to lie. I think that helped me out quite a bit.
Let me show you a little trick.
Got a headache? Break your foot. Yeah.
My grandfather used to say, oh, your finger hurts? Let me step on your foot. You won't feel your finger anymore. I'm like, that doesn't work. I was wrong.
So yeah, that shot out tooth really cleared up my foot pain. Also, when I went to the dentist tomorrow, part of the reason why I'm not down at the ASC right now is because tomorrow I get round 2 of the root canal on that tooth, round 2. And when I went, the dental assistants looked in my mouth for the x-rays, and one of them literally said, "Oh my God." And I was like, what's wrong? They're like, this is serious. They immediately got the dentist. The dentist kind of hurriedly came in, who I kind of know. And he brings up the pictures on this display in front of me, and he goes, do you see that pink dot on your tooth? I'm like, yeah. He's like, that is the bare exposed, perfectly exposed nerve. Some of the nerve is hanging out. It's not that it's gone. It's that the tooth came off in a way to where there's a dome of nerve. You should be in extreme pain. Are you okay? I'm like, I have a tummy ache, but I am fine. He goes, okay. So I tell you what, dental insurance, they gave me 5 shots in my mouth. Right before they did the canal, I went, I'll take 3 more shots. Sure enough, my insurance covered it. I couldn't feel a thing. except for the very end, they had this Gavorkian torture device about this long, way down in there, and then at the very, very end, it was like getting stabbed in the mouth by a hot knife. I just and they went, and we're done. That's it. See you Thursday.
You saying this disgusting stuff, we've lost viewers. I'm about to boot you out. That's terrible.
Kick me out.
The chicken I ate for dinner is sitting about right here right now.
We made a mix of food while we were on the field, by the way, just so you know. So from
and when I left, I go, when I come back Thursday, can I please have the original tooth? Because they're making a mold out of the tooth I gave them. They're like, really? I'm like, yeah, I it's not that I want the tooth. I need the tooth. Give me the tooth Thursday. They're like, okay. They got a little bag and they put my name on it. They're like, you will get this tooth guaranteed Thursday. So I'm very excited to have a little piece of me wherever I go. So very excited.
I had something to say to you, and oh yeah. So where did the BB go? That was the question that we all asked each other. He said, hey, Godfather, Snick, where'd the BB go? Oh, shit. Indeed.
You know what's nuts? I didn't even think about that. I spit the tooth out, and then I spit the BB out. I should have kept the BB. Dang it. Oh, I'm a failure. No.
Justin West. I love it, dude. You just got a patch, bro.
Oh, man.
Okay. Well, that. We've rambled for 13 minutes because we had to actually go over to are we going to you want to run them down real quick?
Let's get it over with. Here we go, because I want to talk about this awesome event.
Yes.
Right off the crank, April 12th, Simple Airsoft's grand opening as an e-bike outpost in Fort Lauderdale. It is an awesome indoor CQB arena with a shop. Simple Airsoft. I'm most likely going to be there probably later. That's April 12th. Check it out. It's going to be fantastic. Right after that, April 19th is Wasteland 16.5. New currency introduction, passport system to save characters, LARP, Fallout, Apocalypse, Glorious, Towns. Check it out. Bottle caps, you're darn tootin'. That is at Wayne's World of Paintball, Cali, Florida. Follow Mind Game Productions for more details for that and tickets. And the double whammy, May 2nd to the 4th, double book weekend. We have Future Wars by New Breed Airsoft. Tickets are live. Follow them on all social media platforms for more details and ticket links. And Creme de la Creme, VFA is proud to present Operation Redacted at the Mount Vernon Armory in good old Alabama. Limited tickets, sprawling AO. You don't want to miss it. Follow Veterans for Airsoft on social media for more details. Shout out to Freddie Lux. He's the best. That's it. Let's get right into it.
All right.
I have had legit offers for my tooth so far. I have had legit offers for my tooth. I am flattered. Highlight of Stonebreaker. Some dude bitching at me saying it's unfair that I'm using nods. Skill issue force. You know what? Skill issue.
We will talk about that. We'll get to that.
I smell broke.
So this was
no.
Stonebreaker 11 at the Government Training Institute in Barnwell, South Carolina.
Yes.
Presented by Third Coast Airsoft.
Yes.
And I turn the rest over to you, sir.
All right. So our final count was 707 players, 707 like the jet. That included sponsors, support staff. First off, I want to thank everyone that made it successful. And that is the players, the sponsors, the helo. I don't think my butt unclenches until that helo lands and shuts down at the end of the day on Saturday, just because of the inherent risk. And we'll talk about that as well. Huge shout out to the Tier 1 committee, to Coach and the boys. I let the sergeants run that. When Coach said, hey, I have an idea. I want to incorporate vehicles and in a dismounted infantry platoon. Everyone's moving in different directions. 30-4, I'm like, and I want to do water charges, and I want, oh shit, okay, Coach. But the goal was to have players come out of that experience with a sense of how to use vehicles with dismounts, with troops. And because that was a big thing at Fury. That was a big thing in Serious Viking.
Yeah.
You know, Bubba Putnote said, hey, man, if these guys would only figure it out. And so we've got to give them a venue to do that. And I think Stonebreaker was the venue.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't realize Western was on, leading up to this thing, Western had one Starburst. They had one Crossbones. They had one Serious Viking. You know, Jack Branch stepped down, let Werewolf come up. Werewolf, by accident, commanded at Fury because Jack was having some medical issues. And so Werewolf stepped in. He was really nervous, brand new location, brand new everything.
Yeah.
You know, and what happened? He went in there and you know, did some great work. They won by about 40K in points. If we count points, they controlled 70% of Hibernia. Left Western on their heels. Like,
Yeah.
You know, Ken and the boys were feeling down. You know, they came out of a Fury going, okay, we've got to get our shit together. And they were really worried that Craig White wasn't going to make Stonebreaker. Well, you know, here we are going into it's Thursday. We're arriving on site. I'm messaging Werewolf, and I'm like, "Hey, dude, you know, I've got a range pass. You can get up there, go set the talk up, set up the same footprint you had at Fury." He goes, "No, I'm going to go light this time." I wrote down in my green book, bold move, Cotton. I mean, you look at Western. Western has perfected how to set up a talk. I mean, those guys. I mean, for crying out loud, Craig White wrote a book. You know, so you know he's all about trying to apply the art to the science.
Airsofters and books.
Hey. So it was interesting. Okay, so tier 1, 3 mounted elements, 1 dismounted element, teaching players how to dismount off vehicles and get through contacts. 2 books, thanks, Kevin. You know, so I think players that did the tier 1 Friday night really got a sense of how to use vehicles because, man, they were applying it early on Saturday. View from the Op 4, Toucan, did you get out there?
Oh, brother, I was out there. I was the infamous.
Where were you?
I was the duck team.
You were the duck.
We were the duck. The unfortunate duck team. We had many fun engagements, but unfortunately, the duck was a dud, which was very funny to see the the convoy cautiously roll up, aimed at the duck, teams of men walking around the duck, then TCA staff touching the duck, then going, just keep going. The duck's taking a nap. And then they went. Unfortunately, that duck didn't go off, but very fun. The engagements were excellent. I had a good time. I think the players we were against had a way better time, though. That's for darn sure.
Yeah. So I was on the north lane on gold, and I want to say ours was some kind of weird-looking bird. It wasn't a chicken. And so by the time we got up there, gold leader, he's like, you know what? Prepare to dismount left. Prepare to dismount right. And he had his dismounts on, online. He had both vehicles side by side, and they were, Jax is like, hey, can we just shoot the damn thing? I was like, yeah, man, go ahead and recon by fire. Burst, nothing happened. Burst, nothing happened. Both trucks burst. All of a sudden, the bird vaporized, and the Op4 was like, oh crap. And it was literally both sides exchanged fire. But gold, had they not taken that lesson to deploy to your left and your right and be ready for contact, they would have died on their VIX, without a doubt. Cole Payne. All right. So the tier 1 left a lot of folks ready for the next day. A lot of first timers, which was great. I loved the fact that there were a lot of first time tier 1 guys. Lucky. Yes, Lucky was my technical driver. We realized that not everyone knows first aid. So part of the tier 1 was they had to do first aid on a casualty. Wasn't as simple as putting a tourniquet on an airsoft tourniquet. He actually had to try to medic him. I think he was just gunfire and noise and people running around, and he was just turning that ball of gauze into like a cotton swab.
Just dabbing at it.
Just Lucky Lucky deserves an Oscar, but yeah, I think the tier 1, a lot of smiles all around afterwards. Guys were really pumped up for the next day.
That's awesome.
So, by the way, we did a 2 standard water charge because Coach is a
maniac.
Explosives, yes. But yeah, I think the infantry guys, they did a water breach, went into the jock, cleared the jock, continued mission. Everybody had something to do on that. Saturday morning. So Saturday morning, we'll start with formation. Everybody was up on the top of the hill, ready to rock and roll. Seeing a lot of familiar faces. I think it sucks that we don't have more time in a weekend because we love seeing some of you guys. The staff truly likes seeing some of the players. Yeah. So, yeah. And I think the Huey coming in got a lot of people jazzed up. Anyways, all right. Big shout out to our anthem singer.
More than jazzed up because it knocked. Wiener and knocked Wiener over.
Yeah, knocked him on.
It literally physically.
He wasn't the only one. CRISPR, I think, took a tumble too.
Oh, was it CRISPR? Not Wiener. It was CRISPR that fell over. That's right. Okay.
And then what else? On our check ride on Friday, Kukui slid when the Huey rocked like this and then leaned back. Didn't go anywhere. He was like, "Oh my god!" You're like, "You're not going anywhere. You're doing great." He's like, "No, I got the camera in my hands." Yeah, all I heard was Credence all weekend long. It was awesome. But I think we proved to Airborne Tactical that the players love the Huey best. I like the little bird, but that's just me. But the Huey's always going to have
the draw.
Yeah, always. Yeah. That is the draw.
I kind of like the little bird too more. I'm not going to lie.
Because the little bird doesn't telegraph its movement; it just moves.
It's two different. Yeah, it's definitely two different flights, though. I mean, you're one. It's the difference between being in a race car and being in a tractor trailer.
And it's very different if you do hog hunts. You're basically drifting around the place, i.e., Six Flags. Yes. That guy. Whoo.
Yeah. So, all right. So formation guys went out and. Both sides, I think, were significantly worried about pacing. Like, don't want to use it up. Don't want to get burned out too fast. And so I was over at the Western Talk at StartX, and they were getting used to having Craig in the talk. Craig was getting used to being back in the talk. For the first, say, 2.5 hours, Western was on the ropes. They were hurting bad. Eastern was feeling good, but that pacing thing, I think players were looking for that lunch break that we normally give them.
Yeah, I can chime in there real quick if you don't mind.
Please, man, please.
That was what you said right there was exactly what I ended up seeing. So, I was in FUPA for Mobile Command, right? Which by the way, and I know we'll talk some more about vehicles. I find it works great, with the exception of if we use vehicles better. Again, we'll talk about it. I won't die as much. But FUPA had some trouble, so we had to go back to the parking lot temporarily. That was right around the 12:30 mark, somewhere right around there. And I looked up and I could see for about every 10 Eastern players, maybe one Western came off the field. I just kept looking up and seeing this flow of green just coming through. And I'm like, what is going on? And I know, the whole morning we were dominating. Like from all that, we just converged.
I think all but one objective at one point.
Yeah, we were just dead. We were doing a phenomenal job. And I don't know if it was guys got bored or hungry or whatever, but so many came off and just thinned the herd so much that, and I mean, that's not to take anything away from Western. They might have done what they did anyway, whether the people were on there. My perspective was we lost a lot of Eastern guys because they came off the field. And of course, obviously, lack of manpower is going to hurt, but and we did not leave the field. Yeah, well, that would probably stand to reason then.
So interesting to note. Mobile Mission Command, Battle Command on the move, whatever the military wants to call it, depends where you're at, in the service. It works when, for you're in charge of 2 companies, 3 companies. For the guys that don't know, I mean, you have Able, Baker, Easy, you have Chaos, Dagger, Fight, Hate. So if you're in charge of 2 company elements, you've got 2 commanders forward already. You're in charge of both of them just to kind of feel it out. It totally works for you at that level to be Mobile Mission Command.
Yeah.
And you can be taken out. I mean, me being a maneuver battalion commander in the service, they gave me a tank, which I never understood. I was like, "You're giving me a tank, I'm going to shoot the damn thing." But then I had to remember, hey, I got to move this whole element. So let me back up a little bit. So I think it worked well for you. The only thing you're not getting is how tired the boys are getting.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that. You're aware of that. But some people just forget. It's like the dude in the helicopter, Vietnam days. Hey, just move another 500 meters. You'll be right there. And it's like, hey, man, I'm in triple canopy jungle. There's no way. So, yeah, it was interesting. We'll talk about the next level of command at some point here.
Sure.
So Mobile Mission Command on the move kind of works at a certain level. Players stepping off, what you don't have is you need an S1, an admin officer to track your units and go. And remember, there was an Iron Dagger that we did where I think Western tried to do it. Hey, if you're leaving the field, come tell me before you leave the field. Hey, this is Chaos 2. We're stepping off. We're going to go and get some chow. How many got with you? I'm taking 7 with me. I'll be back. We'll be back at 1400. Yeah, for some reason, the guys did it at Dagger, but they didn't do it here.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of, and having an S1 in, an admin officer to count heads in the talk and go, hey, sir, Chaos Company, they started with 70. We got 17 on the field. We'll get to, tracking that level. That's art behind the science, man. I walked up the hill and went, shit. It's a whole lot of dudes off the field, And to give Werewolf credit, he had a plan for it. He was planning against that mysterious phase lunch. He had a plan to rotate, and I said, "Okay, let me see how this works. Mm-hmm. You can do one rotation.
Yeah,
because this guy, once he's off the line, he's gone. He swapped in unit for unit, and the unit that got replaced disappeared on him. So you get once. Ken knows what I'm talking about. And I'd love to be able to play like I used to. But me and Wiener were talking about the good old days back at in Florida at all the Overwatch games, where you go in there and you're like, all right, let me command this thing with bottle caps, a fitted sheet, and markers, and tracking units and people.
Big
a lot of people
fan.
Yeah, big bottle cap fan.
Overwatch, and it's funny you said you were talking about communication and being able to, like an S1, being able to track everybody and things like that. The nice thing about the Overwatches is that the layout of the prison was such that communication actually, like all radios work, and because there was no hills and valleys, and even the buildings were not stopping the radios from communicating, because not that it wasn't big, it was straight and flat. So
Yes.
you could communicate, so you could talk and be like, hey, here's what's going on, blah blah blah.
Right.
Something like GTI, especially something like GTI, there's a lot of things in the way. If you're not on the hill talking to the guy at the bottom of the hill, or if you're on the wrong place, that the comms can be shot if you're not relaying right, things like that. Absolutely.
So Hibernia just like I know Hibernia. We know there's a ridge line in Hibernia now. Doesn't show up on any damn map, but it's there. So it's interesting that you had 2 AOs now that have that challenge of radio waves not going. So here's the other half, right? Man, Western at StartX, dude, for the first 2 hours, they thought Able 6, they heard a report that Geezer was in his tent, prostrate with a hangover, that Able Company never made it to Eve, Monica's getting savaged, that Rich Cudahy didn't make it up the hill to Lola, they can't even get up the hill, and I was like, if you walk outside the talk and just look, you might see something. Bumblebee's broken axle out west. There was a serious breakdown in reporting on Western, right? And Ken Archer and Tim Bray had the idea of, hey, all right, let's do what we did at Viking. Kit up, let's go see what's going on. Mm-hmm. And I was hoping they would get Craig White with them, but it was like, you know what? Send the talk out. Yeah, Ken went out and found Able 6. Geezer was not prostrate in his tent hungover. He was doing exactly what he was told to do. He took Eve, was in a huge firefight inside the jock, keeping Eastern from moving through the jock to Eve. Black Knights, they got savaged over at freaking Monica. They got savaged over at Betty. Ripper got depleted. And I think that's what broke off a lot of Eastern players. They grinded to get through. They had to fight through those 2 locations. I was like, all right, let me walk over here real quick, swap batteries, and I'll head over to Eastern's talk. And as I was back there swapping batteries, checking on something else, I noticed all the green players in the parking lot, and I was like, the infamous lunchtime. And I get it. Onesies and twosies coming back. Hey, I got to swap a battery. This gun sucks. A sniper rifle. Shit, I really need my AR. So Geezer did fantastic. Able Company, if the only one unit in the Western Coalition could get a battle streamer, it would go to Able Company hands down on this one. I get over to Eastern Talk and they're, Werewolf's got a plan, and I realize something when I look at his talk setup. 2 tents next to each other. You got a wall in between them. Rather than setting up one longhouse, you got 2 tents like this. There was a serious Viking where half Eastern Talk was on the other side of a chain link fence. That chain link fence might as well have been 3 foot thick reinforced concrete. They could not pass the information through the fence. Same thing here. A wall and a talk will cut your communication down instantly. Especially when Run is doing some magnificent work in that side of the talk, but it just can't get through that wall.
When I was in, I remember we used to put 4 5.77s butt to butt, and you put the stick-ups on around it.
Yes.
And that was the top. The table was in the middle, and everybody was on their radios, and the stand table was right, and that's how it worked. All voices were heard, all comms were heard, everything was right there in the middle.
The tables you were fighting off the back ramp of the 5.77, and you had the U-shaped tables. Everybody was looking at the same map. Fucking Snick, not all communication or verbal. The other half is, and I think we're going to start coaching a little bit more. Talking to Colonel Papka, Lieutenant Colonel Mendoza, Dave Escobar, bringing some of the old war horses back. to do a little bit more, hey, teach, coach, mentor, bring in the pros to help build the staffs. That's not a slant on anybody, okay? Because commanding is not easy. It's cat herding. The cat's got to want to be herded, and that's probably a lot of the battle right there.
Sure.
But bringing in some vets that have moved large formations, and they can help teach, coach, mentor, and guide. I think that's the next step. So I think that's what we're going to do for Iron Knife in September, because it needs to happen. I'd love to be able to play more, and I will get my chance to play more here in the days ahead.
Iron Knife is the 12 on, right?
Yeah, 12 on.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think that's the communication at all levels. When an individual player is stepping off the field, they should have told somebody. When a leader steps off the field, they need to go tell somebody. That damned both sides. Both sides had that issue where, hey, you're a unit commander? Yeah, what are you doing? I'm going to go take a shit. Okay, who's taking charge, man?
Yeah.
When you're that's significantly hamstrung, and of course everybody comes back and goes, I blame the leader. Hey, look, the leader's already responsible for everything anyway. Try to own some of it.
Right.
So yeah, communication. Yeah. Communication is key, and it starts at all levels. So that's that, right? I mean, use of fires. Both sides, man, had some great artillery strikes, great JDAM strikes.
Yeah. Sure.
Western, I think Western gets the blue on blue award because they definitely, Eastern had one blue on blue, but Western had more than one. So yeah, interesting.
There's one thing I think that needs to be. Some guys forget sometimes. I think with it being airsoft, you can be as technical and tactical as you want to be. You have to remember that these are airsofters.
Yes.
And some guys want to be directed, want to be told what to do. Some guys need to be massaged. Some guys need to be like, I understand you want to go beat the shit out of somebody. I've got a perfect place for you to beat the shit out of somebody. They want to, and some guys just showed up to do their thing. And those guys, you just track where they go.
Yeah. Well, where do you want to go? Well, I want to go here. Great. Go do that.
Yep.
I would say probably Western had a 75-25 ratio. Eastern probably had a 60-40, 65-35 follow orders to doing their own thing ratio. And the guys got frustrated. And as guys got tired, they just went straight to the noise. Where's the fight at? I'm going right there.
Yep.
Snick absolutely got to buy into the experience. Now, on the subject of leadership, and this is in life, okay? The leader provides purpose, direction, and motivation. Okay? Motivation comes in several different flavors. Some people want the Buds Hell Week, Ranger School, go play, the Ranger game, the rocks, the airborne beat your boots kind of thing. Some people thrive on that. Others, you gotta find out what makes them get excited. Like Toucan, want to get your 2-shot out? Yeah, all right, let's go.
I got a technical kill before that. Thank you very much. 1 tooth, 1 vehicle. I'll take it.
It's a 4,500-pound trade. So, and again, people forget that everyone should be constantly learning in life, right? Everyone should be constantly making an effort to learn something. And we're teaching leadership. I know people don't realize they're learning anything, but people are learning from us. Hey, man, trying to teach you how to be a better leader. How often do I yell in the military? Not often. So, fair trade, hashtag, Justin West. Good one.
I'll take it.
I don't spend a lot of time yelling at folks, even when I'm upset with them. It's like, all right, let's figure this out. But yeah, dudes, and people are always learning, man. People make mistakes. Who would we be if we didn't help people get better? So,
Sure.
Coach, first time ever in a talk, doing advising. I went to go check on Coach Sunday morning, and he was like, "You're here to relieve me, right?" I'm like, "Oh no, you're doing a great job." And he was like, "But this is not where I belong." I was like, "It is," you know. And of course, Mr. Ping, Staff Sergeant Smith, was like, "This is where you're at, Z." You know, so lots of exposure leadership is what I call it, leadership under pressure. And for those young pups that are in the military that come to airsoft games to get a free rep or just get their gun on, I would offer this. It is a consequence-free decision-making environment. No one's getting a folded flag at the end of the weekend. No one's getting a notification at the door. You're not writing letters home to people's moms and dads. It is a leadership laboratory. It's a consequence-free decision-making paradise for you guys. Use it for what it can be. You know, and I think people will walk away. The guys that are in the service will walk away from airsoft going, you know, an airsoft event, experiment, whatever you want to call it, and go, it is not easy getting people to do unnatural things like move towards gunfire or towards a pain-producing thing, especially after they've had a two-shot out. So,
he was a champ. Listen, I got to.
Yeah.
He was absolutely a champ.
I got the tooth shot out. I literally spit out my tooth, and I thought, so I have a chipped tooth already. I'm like, yes, now I can get that cosmetic work I wanted to get done. I thought I shot that tooth out. I was actually stoked. Emma runs over, Skits, and she's just like, is it the tooth? I'm like, it's not the tooth. But then I go, oh, quick, shoot promo, turn on the camera. 30 seconds after I got my tooth shut out, that's where that video comes from, right there.
I'll tell you right now, dude, the whole staff that saw that, we were like, Toucan is a man.
He's a maniac. He absolutely is.
Dude, we were like, he is a man among men. On the subject of vehicles, I gotta say, vehicle use at this one was great at the beginning. Schluffed a little bit in the middle, phase 2 nighttime. Okay. And then phase 3, you know, Cole, we'll talk about that one. That's a good one. Either today or tomorrow. Anyway, so phase 3, there's 2 types of VIX. People just can't wrap their heads around this, but there are 2 types of VIX. There truly is. You know, you've got, you know, Brandon Gardner. Wow. You've got the technical that can carry troops, and then you've got the damn EM50 assault vehicle that can't carry any. The Doominator, Doomsday's vehicle.
Shout out to them. Yeah.
Major shout out to them. Hell, they're basically the equivalent of a tank. In other words, you've got Bradleys and you've got tanks. Well, the Brads were carrying troops. The tanks, you know, now what we were hoping for was you had the section, like the Tier 1. And Joker and the guys, man, they were doing great work. They were getting behind the lines. They were doing awesome. I thought we'd see a lot more vehicle action out west where Kate Wendy was. We purposely didn't put an objective on Route Comanche because we wanted to use that, see if anybody used that fire break to shoot south or shoot north. I think trailers, the day and age of a trailer, a UTV or a truck pulling a trailer, are gladly over because they are just giant slow-moving targets. Like a Chinook. A Chinook is an RPG magnet. Operation Red Wing, Roberts Ridge. That school bus will get hit with rockets all day. So hopefully people will see the value of not having them. But what did you guys think about the tourniquet for a vehicle?
I
liked it.
Absolutely loved it. It was fantastic. I think there were people that they're not used to it yet. So troops running past. So I'll give my 90 seconds on vehicles. Not being inside, being on the outside. Troops using vehicles the way they should be. So if you see a vehicle coming, know that it's going to do something, and you should be there to let it support you, and then you follow up with support. That's how that's supposed to work, vehicle to dismount. If something happens to the vehicle, it is now cover for you. That vehicle is always there for you, whether it's alive or dead.
Right.
use it as in every way possible. If it dies, and this is the thing I think a lot of people forgot, they see it dead, they just moved on. Not like, but I mean, I've seen guys run past dead guys and not even stop to try to tourniquet them. I'm like, what? One dead guy turned to life is 2 fighting people. What are you doing? Break everything you can back to life and continue to fight.
Right.
I think that's a thing that's missing that not all players understand. It should be more important to bring a player back to life, just like bringing a vehicle back to life. Using everything you need from those things, get them out there, get them moving. So
you inadvertently made such an immersive gameplay mechanic.
Yeah.
You would literally have a vehicle get shot out, and then the crew yelling, help, and then you'd have guys try to repair the vehicle. Like, literally, that would be a whole skirmish battle in of itself, on top of the actual skirmish battle that was being fought. That was such a fun layer to add to the event. Yeah. Oh, our vehicle got shot out. They still have the tourniquet. Literally like Battlefield 3, Call of Duty moment, like fix the vehicle. I think excellent work. Whoever's idea that was, goddamn, fantastic.
Like what Toucan said and what these 2 guys both just said, maybe putting it in a in some kind of box, some kind of Pelican case, a smaller Pelican case that's got a couple of clamps that have to be opened, something that has to be done a little bit more to take a little bit more time. Maybe that's your mechanic, but I've seen some of the complaints about it, or not complaints, but suggestions.
So I'm going to sweep my house for electronic devices because we already have the U-bolts that they're going to be in a case. Special thanks to On The Go Surplus for giving us cases. Because now the wrench, the wrench and the tire will be in a Pelican case, and there will be a something that you got to unscrew to open the case up. Yes, I want to say I talked to Evan. I talked to somebody from Eastern talking about hey Sal, could there be a little bit more vehicle? And I'm like, all right, let's figure this out. So we had that great conversation about how to make it a little bit more. A little longer. I laughed because the guy who actually gave me the idea, who kind of got me to start thinking about it, Unit 91, I don't think Tyler Brewer ever even got the chance to use the damn thing. There's that.
That's what's special about that rule, though. All you have to do is just improve it and make it even more immersive. It's so fantastic.
So we're there on that one, and I'm glad. And every vehicle should have one. We're like, no, because there isn't that many recovery assets in the military. When I have a down tank, I'm lucky to get 1 recovery vehicle for every 14 tanks.
Yeah.
So sorry. I mean, actually, you have more than what a real unit would have.
And who's recovering the recovery? Because 88s break all the time.
Yes. Yes, they do. Cold paint. I love the Centurion method. Unfortunately, it's a matter of safety, and when somebody gets their hand stuck in the damn hood of a vehicle engine vehicle hood, that sucks. Chris Allman, a tourniquet size truck size. Anyways, so yeah, I think the vehicle aspect was pretty cool. Let's talk about nods for a second. Okay, Papa, you and I, we're old war horses, bro. Thanks, Brandon. I didn't track that you guys actually had it on Sunday. The tourniquet. Okay, back when the sun wasn't so bright and the dinosaurs had just died, armies had very limited night vision, and we fought at night. Sal, you'll see me on tier 1s rarely have nods on my face because I don't need them. It's not because I ate a lot of carrots. It's because there are ways to fight without nods. There are ways in that, and I don't know the tier 1 lane at all. I mean, I'm just walking with the squad trying to make sure we don't screw up coach's best laid plans. So guys got to get used to fighting without nods. Nods should be an enhancement, not a reason for existing at night. We have these things called flares. Call for flare support. Eastern's talk was trying to make shit happen, and calling in flares over on Nikki, partially to blind Western, both with and without nods, and to also create a cordon of sorts with just flares. The other half was, nods are great. They get you from point A to point B, but you got to take them off to get action on point C. So yeah.
I told my guys that were worried about it, because I normally don't play night games, and I ended up playing the night game. And I told them, I said, listen, if you got a flashlight, yep, and you've just balanced the odds. You take night vision out of the equation.
I love that one video where the cop car's chasing him, and you see this giant, 100 million candela, and next thing you know, the car's gone.
You can actually hear the cop go, "Oh my word!" in that video.
So, dudes, I don't play night games because I don't have nods. Hey, man, come hang out with Sal. We've been doing great without nods for a long time.
Even if you just have a tracer, it's fun to just shoot into the abyss. To be super honest, if you don't have nods, if you know the general direction of the fight and you have a tracer, it's super fun. To be super honest, super fun.
Yeah,
Justin West, Jesus Christ,
he's relentless. He's absolutely relentless.
So going back to the days of Doomsday, when we go roll out and play at night, my team knows that if you're double arm interval, don't get beyond double arm interval, and if we take fire from a certain position, we basically mag dump in that direction. We saturate with fires. Works very well. The other bit is, I remember the days of 7 Bravos being elite. PVS 7 Bravos, PVS 7 Deltas. You're like, man, these things are awesome. And I look at players that do have nods, and if they don't have a laser on their weapon, it's kind of like, you're not as good as you think you are, guy. Sean Meadows, that dude just got a patch for me because he just made a great fucking comment. This goes out to Castle, okay? Going back many tier ones, when the guy goes, you can guys put a little bit more light on the objectives, and Castle was like, hey guy, why don't you take off your Dark Eye Pro? And everybody in the AAR was like, oh shit. And I saw a lot of players on the field Saturday night with Dark Eye Pro on. Probably not very effective.
I play with Ambers, and a little more challenging, but not so bad.
Yeah.
Not so bad.
Ambers have their uses, man. That's why they're there. So communication, I think, is something at all levels that folks need to really work at. Telling people what you're doing. Like, hey, we're gonna go step off, and I'm gonna go get some fat barbecue and sit on my butt for a little bit. That's one. Two, a great captain in the Philippine insurrection said, bring me solutions because everyone else brings me problems. Sometimes you got to help that commander out. Lucky Brad, Lucky, I love it. Sir, for the record, Lucky, that was a $10 Bucky's flashlight.
The Chinese IR got me. Oh, fuck.
Yes, that barbecue was straight fire. Dudes. I mean, night vision's great. It should be an enhancement, not a end all.
Right. Yeah.
Now, things that we saw that were awesome. Dudes that were willing to walk just a little bit. Like, let me go straight to the action. No, man, coach was coaching some guys on Saturday night going, if you go about 100 meters this way, turn left in the woods, go down about 200 meters, 200 paces, and then make a left. You'll come out behind Western. Coach, that's a lot of walking. Bro, do you want to make the big play? And when the guys did it, they came back and went, I was able to get all the way to Lola and get all the way into the Jock and go for Eve just because I could walk a little bit. Being willing to put in the steps to get where you could do the most good. Fighting the enemy where he's not.
I've walked and ridden at GTI, and I mean, I actually died more often riding than walking. But
Yes.
yeah, I mean, going to an event like that and not being prepared to walk though, is not. I mean, we've talked about this over and over again about the things that are unrealistic thoughts. Like, well, it's airsoft, but yeah, but if you chose to be there, yeah, you spend your $150, $200 for your ticket, great. But you chose to be one out of 707. You said
707. Yeah.
707 players. Half of them are relying on you. You're on a team. You chose to be part of a team. This is something that I think needs to be pushed more and more in airsoft. We're there for each other, not just for ourselves, and not just for the 7 guys you came with either.
Right.
You know, those 7 guys can support 70. If you can do that, and it makes it more fun. It's not about the win or lose. Sometimes it's about how you win or lose. If you lose because you just gave up, that's terrible. You know, if you win because everybody else gave up, that's not a good feeling.
Right.
You won because you fought your ass off in a 2.5 hour long back and forth battle. Oh man, I'll lose that all day long.
Right.
No problem. You know, Toucan lost a tooth and he's bragging about it. That's a great loss.
Yeah. Those epic moments in airsoft that we always talk about where, hey man, I just did a hashtag fair trade. It cost me a tooth that killed a Vic. The one kid from Eastern that just walked casually by me at Able 6 on Sunday morning, geezer's like, hold on. And the dude took off. I've never seen anybody run that fast wearing Ultima Maritimes. That dude ran fast, doubled back, smoked Able 6, smoked his PSD, went inside and flipped Lola. And I was like, and then of course he got shot on the outside. I asked him, hey man, where'd you come from? He goes, oh, I followed these other 2 dudes and we all got lost in the jock building. How did you get here? And he goes, oh, we came down Route Apache, swapped Monica to our side, and we just walked up the hill, came right into the jock. Holy shit. Dude, here's a black patch. Good job, man. I was impressed. I said, oh, by the way, you just smoked a company commander. If he's like, oh wow, oh shit. And I was like, yeah, dude. So epic moment. That kid's weekend right there. It was like hot damn, dude. I just did something kick-ass cool. And all he had to do was walk a little bit. A couple young Marines that I ran into this past weekend. 2 very young Marines, a private and I want to say they're both Lance Corporals. Both those guys willing to do a little bit of walking, came down Route Comanche, went up the hill, went right into the pipe yard, and caused some significant emotional ass pain up in the pipe yard.
Yep.
So, yeah, man.
I don't think you should say that again, by the way. I'm just sorry. You just said ass pain in the pipe yard. Those are your words.
Oh!
Okay, I'm just saying.
Excuse me. Okay. So yeah. It's not that one side lost, okay? I think Eastern gave as good as they got. They were trying to grind through contact. And just after a while, it wears you out.
Yeah.
Fight smart, not hard. But it'll be all right, because don't think that Western's been kicking butt all this time. Remember, they lost at Fury. They got humbled at Fury.
Yeah.
Bad. 45K points bad. So I don't think losing by 29,000 points is something to be upset about. I think people just need to go back and okay, what do I need to do to get ready for the next one? Thanks to battle fatigue.
I hear people talk about I played for tan for 6 times, and then I go over to green. Both sides have the potential to do exactly what each other does. It's got leadership. Sure, leadership shifts though. There's changes in leadership all the time. If each person goes thinking about what they're going to do for the team, You're going to have a phenomenal time, and it's going to be a fight. It doesn't matter what side you go on.
Right.
That truly is. And I played for green, been playing for green for the most part, literally because those were the uniforms I had. That really was it. The first time I went to Starburst, I actually went with Doomsday. And again, you got to have a multicam Tropic. I'm like, okay. And I wore multicam Tropic for the next 5 events I went to because that's the only uniform I had.
But come October in a game in Florida, I know what color you're going to be wearing. Damn it.
October. Oh shit. Okay.
I'm not going to say what color on the net right now because everybody be like, "Oh my god!" The days of Sal getting to come out of the box and play are coming.
I don't believe you. I literally don't believe you.
Oh, brother. Let me
prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
I will. So, one, people are going to start putting on some quality games that I can get to, and it'd be great to run with me and Sam and the guys. We used to love being able to run with players at events because they got to see a little bit of more. How we thought, how we fought. We're going to
the human side of Sal.
I have no human side, sir. My hate keeps me warm. Oh
my god.
So in July I'll be at Muscatatuck with Centurion, and I'm gonna have a big old fucking blast, and hopefully you guys can come with because it'll be great.
Yeah, we've been heavily sincerely talking about how to make it happen.
Yeah.
Because that gives us an opportunity. Now, what we're talking about in the future is on day 0 at our events, particularly Thursday at a certain time, leadership can sign up for an advanced tactics, strategic and operational art class taught by us. So they can show up and we'll do a little bit of classroom instruction, and we'll do what they call a 4-5 war. It's a 45-minute tabletop exercise where guys can get a sense of trying to apply what they learn. Mm-hmm. We asked the staff, the leaders today, hey, who would want to do that? And everybody's like, yeah, we'll do it. Western's like, yes, we'll do it. I'm like, okay, let's see if Eastern wants to sign up for it. So yeah, that'll be coming around. Damn, Justin West is savage. Damn, dude.
Only shit. Blew up. If Sal shut out my tooth, I would have to give him whatever was left and go, you have to wear it.
I would feel bad, sir.
So quick, let's.
So funny. So funny.
We're going to announce the winner of the raffle real quick, and then we'll close up. People have been waiting.
Yes. Stand by, gentlemen.
Yeah, we had a. I have it listed here. Where do you go? I have it listed already. I know who it is.
Oh, you have it. You have it. Huzzah! Yeah, you're prepared. Sorry, I just didn't trust you at all.
We did a right. We did another social media raffle, and it ran for 2 weeks, I think, something like that. And the winner of the raffle is. Let's see. Oops, that was the wrong one. Let me go over here and put it there.
Prepared. Look, Sal, prepared.
Copain, how can you say that?
What is happening here?
Ground branches are jammed, dude.
Uh-oh. Shit. Well, some have it over in the Instagram one, but we'll figure that out.
I have it.
No, I have it. I posted it, but I got to post it in on the Instagram as well.
Well, you should say it first and then do that after.
I did. Sid Vicious.
Did you? Oh, sorry, you cut out for me. Good job. Congratulations, Sid Vicious.
Yes.
Congratulations, dude.
So caught up on trying to get this to fix.
All right, you won a APS Striker 12.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Oh,
wow.
Yes.
And it does come with rounds. We did put the
spare.
rounds in.
Yes.
Yes. So yeah, the Street Sweeper. One of the you. Unfortunately, there's no more Thunderdome for him to come use it at, but.
Hey, use shotguns at Third Coast.
Oh yeah. No.
Oh, and to clarify, the APS Striker 12 Street Sweeper comes with the shells, but more importantly, with the CO2 shells, it comes with the actual APS loads, the caps for the tops of the shells to retain the BB, so it's not a disastrous mess. So whoever won, you have the best loadout for that shotgun possible.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a nasty looking gun. It really is. I think it's awesome. So, thank you very much for everybody that participated in it. Though, really, absolutely do appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for that. We'll
I
probably
had
do.
fun.
We like to give stuff away, so we'll be doing it again, hopefully soon. Right. So, thoughts on how it went, Sal? You think did you like the new mechanic? Did you like the way everything played out? Did you any feelings on what you would have liked to see change?
I wish the one thing I can't change is the distance to the parking lot. I wish the parking lot was on the backside of the moon. Players could stay in the fight longer. But I get it. You get tired, man. It happens. It was warm. It wasn't easy for both sides. Both commands had good plans. I hate when people say, "Oh, the plan goes to shit once the first shot gets fired." No, inflexible plans go to shit once the first shot gets fired. Here to tell you, I've been in combat a few times. The plan usually a good flexible plan will make sure that you have assets assigned and people where they're supposed to be. That's an excuse for piss poor planning when people use that phrase.
Yes.
But I would tell you that food trucks to the AA, Brandon, that's a genius idea. That is a genius idea. I will hold on to that one, dude. Then it'll be battle of the fucking taco trucks.
Airdrop MREs and call it a day.
Call it a day. No, on a serious note, I think the players gave as good as they got. Players did get a little salty, but that's okay. They stayed on the field. They kept trucking. Guys, a lot of learning, and that's great. Cold pain, a commissar. Jesus. Purify the heretics.
No, that's some LARP, dude.
That is some LARPing shit.
Yeah.
I'll play a 40K bolt gun here in a minute. No, I think it was well played. Craig White was back. It was awesome having him back. I had Dale Papka and Eric Mendoza messaging me going, "Hey, I really wish we were there." I was like, "I really wish you were here."
Yeah.
Having those guys, their medical stuff, making sure they get it taken care of, they're fine. But, military medicine, it'll be 6 more months till we can see you again. Don't move your, don't move your freaking appointments. Pot full of hot dogs. Wiener. But yeah, I think we're set up. GTI wants us back despite all the goon shit that happened off field. They want us back. We're going back there 19, 20, 21 September. We're going to do Iron Knife, which it's not a Iron Dagger. Iron Knife will be a 12-hour round, break for night for rest, and then come back in the morning and do the standard 3.5 hour. What did you guys think about ending it at 12:30 versus ending it at 12?
6.5 dozen to me.
I know, right? You got to drive, right?
Yeah, getting the. I like the idea of getting the more gameplay. I know some guys are like, "Wow, I got to leave on Sunday," but 30 minutes, no big deal. I was it was the rain. I was like, I couldn't believe it rained again. It seems to rain every time we go to GTI. I don't know if it's the time, but it rained and it went away, which I was like, oh, it's not actually raining. Awesome, and that was nice. But yeah, the 30 extra minutes, 6.5 dozen to me.
Yeah,
good.
No.
More gameplay, more time to sling. I did not mind it at all.
That was player feedback from previous events. Hey, Sal, give us a little bit more on Sunday. I'm like, that means we could start a little later. I could get a little bit more sleep. Done. So 9 to 12:30 will work. But yeah, we're going to do a NAMSoft game in August. We'll follow. Might do a standby. I don't want to give too much away, but I love sharing it. Might do something if an AO goes final in the next couple of weeks for a pretty cool AO. We'll wait and see. So yeah, If that AO pops, you guys will definitely want to jump on it with us. So, yeah, if the game's close, 12:30 is great. Yeah, I know. I won't put AAs near the parking lot for that reason. Folks are like, mag dump, go back down to the
Yeah, you're talking airsoft again. Trying to get guys to, when they're already disenfranchised, when they're already feeling like they're beat up, when they're feeling like something's wrong. A lot of guys don't dig down. They don't want to follow through.
Yeah, I'm not questioning your manhood, but I'm just saying this was a football game. Coach would be pretty upset.
Pussy.
This is absolutely a whole
I'm questioning it.
We should definitely have this conversation. I'd love to have several other people on here and talk about what we should be expecting from some of the players, or from all the players. What they should expect from themselves. Don't go there. Yes, you paid to be there, blah, blah, blah. We've talked about it. I think it definitely would be a great another stream.
Right. To quote Blutarsky, did we stop when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? No. If you haven't seen Animal House, that's your homework. Watch Animal House.
Yeah, you absolutely have to. It's fantastic.
But yeah, keep fighting. I mean, I've been to events where I've commanded and we're losing, and I'm like, hey guys, I ain't giving up. Let's go push. Let's push. So
losing means
Sean Meadow. I feel like I remember AAs used to swap on Sunday. That is rare for Third Coast. We don't do that because I can't. You don't see Germany and the Allies swapping. Hey, you landed on D-Day yesterday. Let me do it. No,
don't do it. Don't do it, please.
Yeah. So that's a big no-go. We did it for Crossbones because it was a play test and we wanted you guys to have it. Maybe we'll do that. We'll try something like that for Iron Knife. I don't know. I'm open to it because Iron Knife's a little different. Walker, too much to move the talks. I'll worry about it. Let me worry about that, okay?
Damn, getting on you, sir.
Yeah.
So, no, he's speaking like a true battle captain. Sir, don't make us jump. So,
any final thoughts?
Hey, it was great to see everybody. I know the helicopter. If you guys like the Huey, then we will ask him to bring it back. I know Paul was talking about bringing the Huey and the Little Bird. I'm like, pump the brakes, guy. Gas is expensive. So yeah, I think we'll consider bringing the Huey back for sure because it was a lot of fun. But yeah, it was just awesome seeing everybody, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys more in the days ahead. So
you cannot escape us.
I don't want to.
Toucan, you got anything?
Thank you. The 2 tan technicals that I scored the double kill on, I greatly appreciate you. That $11 frag grenade did more for Eastern than what could possibly be imagined. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on, Sal. Thank you very much for constantly putting on great events. Thank you for having us out there. It's always a fantastic time. Sorry about Toucan, sorry about your tooth, but I'm glad you got a great story out of it.
I'm not.
Guys,
stop apologizing. I'm happy.
Thank you, everybody who joined on the stream. Thank you, guys. All 705 of you, besides the 2 of us sitting here. I can do math. Thank you all very much for coming, playing, and I look forward to seeing everybody on the next one, next time, which should be next Wednesday. Until then, y'all be good. Keep playing and call your hits.